Subscribe to James the Sheriff Dixon, you motherfuckers.
We're recording. This is Fun Times with the Sheriff, the Season 2 finale, Episode 10. I'm here with my cousin Brent. You want to introduce yourself? You've been on this podcast all the time, so let's go.
Oh, yeah. I've been on a few times. It's really kind of an honor to be your last guest for the season, so how's it going, man? Thanks for having me on.
It's going good. Tonight we're going to be talking about Michael Bay movies. So it's one of my personal favorites, one of yours, I know, right?
Oh, yeah, I grew up with them. The Armageddon and Pearl Harbor were both pretty crazy movies of the time. They did a lot of visual effects and stuff that didn't really happen before then, or they weren't on as grand a scale. And then, when he started doing the Transformers series and everything else, just really good, solid movie, solid director. Definitely has a style.
Speaking of, if we want to start right off the bat, Pearl Harbor was one that I was introduced. Like, I've talked about this with you multiple times with war movies back in middle school.
Oh yeah,
it was like a 2-day thing because it was like on a 2-disc set because it was like a almost a 6-hour movie, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Like it told the story of pretty much Pearl Harbor.
Yep, and it kind of tried to shoehorn in like a love interest story between I think Ben Affleck was like one of the main actors.
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever.
Ben Affleck and a nurse.
Yeah, and they was like, oh, her dad doesn't want me to be involved because I'm a pilot and pilots are garbage. Even though I'm like a commissioned military officer, basically, I'm still not good enough for his nurse daughter. But yeah, like that's a hell of a B story, man. I mean, it's like I'm pretty sure that dudes in the 40s were pretty happy about their daughters being with married men or getting married to dudes in the military.
Especially in the Army and starting off of World War II.
Yeah, the Army, the Navy. It's like, hey, these guys are going to have good jobs as long as they make it home. I mean, maybe that was... Anyways, yeah, they didn't really go super deep into the relationship.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like hey, I love you, but my dad says we can't be together. Oh, shit, we're getting bombed. Yeah, and then I have to go fly some missions overseas now.
That was like the most cinematic part too. I remember the plane sinking or whatever, and that opening sequence. Yeah.
Yep.
And I know we talked about this before. Like, they won't. That's not a movie they would show like today's like middle schoolers or high schoolers or whatever. All right, so like we were saying, that's not a movie we would see in like today's timeline where the high school and middle school. They did not show these kids today.
It's like they don't do a lot of the visual aspects of it. I feel like it's if you're taught anything about Pearl Harbor or anything about the World Wars, it's more of a reading assignment a documentary, like a History Channel type thing, versus like a major theatrical release. Like they wouldn't be showing Pearl Harbor or
take 2 days
Saving
off
Private Ryan.
Take 2 days off of school to watch we took 2 days off. That's a physical memory I had. We took 2 days off of school to watch Pearl Harbor because it was a 6-hour movie. Like that's
right.
I remember. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's not. I mean, when I was in school in like 2006, that's not like I was out here in the middle of nowhere. They didn't really do stuff like that. Like if we watched movies, it was all documentaries. But our history, like just a dude who just read from a book and he's like, well, these are things I've researched and this is what I went to school for, so I have all the information, so ask me about it, and here's me teaching you about it. Or like they didn't even rely on that stuff out here. But then again, like I said, I'm in the middle of nowhere, so very old school stuff. Like maybe they didn't have the technology to show movies like that in my high school. But yeah, no, it's definitely doesn't go with the status quo as far as teaching kids about history these days.
Yeah. Unless we have anything further to say about this movie, other than like what you said earlier, you want to go on to the next movie?
Yep, just to mention on visual effects, Michael Bay, as we go through what we're going to be talking about today, he has a high propensity for visual effects, where I would say that he's second only to like ILM, George Lucas's company that did visual effects back around at the same time before CGI was the norm and everybody had a way to do it. And I'm not even really sure if Industrial Lights and Magic had a hand in those movies, in
with
his movies.
Michael Bay. I don't think so. I think it was like
Yeah.
all him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was his production company that I think handled it all. But anyways, yeah, it's just he's a very high propensity for making very visually stunning films. So
So the
yeah.
next one I wanted to go into before we transfer to the franchise stuff was Armageddon, which was its own solo film.
Oh yeah, another extremely visually stunning film. Another film with a B story that was a young hotshot whose dad didn't want his daughter involved with the young hotshot, who's again Ben Affleck for some reason. He had Matt Damon in one, Ben Affleck in the other. Those two seem to come as a pair.
Yep.
But yeah, he's same thing as like I think the movie starts out, if I'm not mistaken, it's literally like it's either New York or Los Angeles getting struck with meteorites. And
Yeah,
just
there's Deep Impact, which is like the same story. Because I was gonna say like this is not Deep Impact. It's like Morgan Freeman's in one of them as well.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman is the president in Deep Impact, which is the other one. That's not a Michael Bay film, but that one there's where there's two large comets heading for Earth, and one does actually hit in the ocean and take out like a quarter of the United States, like the whole eastern seaboard gets destroyed or whatever. And Morgan Freeman's the president. Not as visually stunning of a movie
as this one, yeah, where it's just one big one and they have to explode it into
right.
Yeah. I get to it, yeah. And this one is visually stunning as well. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, not just the big nuclear explosion at the end, but both the two giant meteor strikes, or the three giant meteor strikes, because there's two that are like, hey, we're in a city and we're seeing it happen, and there's one that happens somewhere over in the Middle East. I think it was India, but I'm not 100% sure. But it just shows like a huge meteor impact, and then like a tidal wave of sand and an explosion of fire like rippling out from the point of impact. And it's like, that's pretty nuts. And then you get to them going to space, and they're doing a slingshot maneuver around the moon to come up behind the comet so they can land on it, and that's pretty intense. And then they get to the comet, and that looks like a Tim Burton film on acid, which Tim Burton's films already look like he was on acid to begin with.
I've always liked the scene where they're drilling the nuke into the actual asteroid itself.
Oh yeah, it's like a space themed nightmare hellscape. It's insane. But it's very visually stunning. It is an extremely impressive feat of visual effects, something that you hadn't really seen a lot to that scale at that point.
Yeah. I think that's all we can say for that movie. Now to the grease of it, the one we've been holding on for the last part of this podcast, the Transformers movies. Which there are.
Well, let's just say that Michael Bay learned a new trick called lens flare when he shot Transformers.
And shaky cam.
And shaky cam. That was this was after the Blair Witch Project, so a lot of people were trying to mold or incorporate the found footage or the real life we're chasing behind this guy while it's happening, so it makes it appear more real than it actually is. Very interesting style of filmmaking that really caught a lot of attention.
Yeah, this is where he got like his name, isn't it? Like for the explosion guy was like with these movies. Yeah. I was gonna say like it wasn't before these. He just like you said, Armageddon and Pearl Harbor. He was like a big director. It wasn't until like Transformers where he was like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a big what's the word I'm looking for? A big propensity towards trying to develop a story, but also having very, very volatile subject matter. Where like Pearl Harbor is one thing that basically everybody who knows who's over the age of 15 or 13 years old has heard of it and knows what it is, and anyone in the generation before ours or the generation before theirs definitely knows what it was. But yeah, it's just he definitely has a style where when it comes to it is like he has a big event, and the big event is usually the focus. Yeah. But I mean he's in it's not necessarily explosions, although in the Transformer series, all 6 of those movies, yes, it is, and he's also. Yeah, actually, there was a movie called The Island where there was a freeway chase scene that went over the bridge in San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge, that they actually reused footage and reskinned vehicles digitally from the footage from the movie The Island in one of the Transformer movies. They've actually done a side by side comparison. I can't remember exactly which one it was.
When I was looking at the list of movies for Michael Bay, I saw that on there. I have not seen that movie.
It's a pretty good one. It's an interesting premise. It doesn't hook into the explosion aspect of it, but it does hook into the lens flare and the B story of
The
possible romantic
fall in love.
Yeah, romantic entanglement and forbidden love and all that stuff. I mean, he definitely has a style of movie that he likes to direct. So like if someone says, "Hey man, we got a movie about giant space lizards that they're having a fight between two kingdoms and it's forbidden love and there's also a lot of explosions because all their weapons are methane based," he'd be like, "Dude, I'm gonna direct the shit out of that."
I know.
That is we call that typecasting.
That is that is typecasting. And we were talking about also like he changes his story a lot throughout the Transformers movies. Like I was telling you earlier, like the start of January through March, I want to say, I watched all of them, and like he changed the story throughout the Transformers movies like a lot.
So it's like the first 2 movies kind of held to the same structure, basically, or the same main characters.
Same premise, yeah.
And then
the
third movie
one,
was completely different.
He's like, fuck it. Yeah, third one, he's like, fuck it.
Yeah. Third one is, the Autobots are on Earth because the Decepticons crashed a ship into the moon. What? What? Yeah.
And they were here before us? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the fourth one. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The fourth one is, guess what? They were here around dinosaurs, and they used to be T-Rexes and shit. Why not?
The one I got pissed off about was they said they weren't fighting with the Nazis, and then in the one with the guy who played Batman's butler in the Christian Bale movies had a clock that said he killed Hitler. When they said Bumblebee killed Hitler in the third one, that pissed me off because I was like, I watched them in order. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that did not happen.
Nope. I'm sorry. That's not anything. You're just making shit up now. That's like J.K. Rowling going back and saying, "Oh yeah, Dumbledore was totally gay." And then guess what? Here comes the 5th Transformers movie. Shia LaBeouf's a pariah, so we can't use him anymore. Let's Mark Wahlberg's the perfect guy to step in. Yeah, take that shit over.
The happening guy.
Yeah, we're gonna 90s rap our way out of this one, boys. Yeah, that was. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a pretty good performance on his part, but they literally dropped him into the middle of, there's no other word for it, a complete shit show, and he did everything he could with it, but there wasn't a whole lot he could do.
Like, for the last 2 movies, there was like that one kid that randomly like appeared that he saved in the beginning, that first one that he was in, that just showed up in the second one, in that junkyard.
Yeah. It's like, I honestly want to. I kind of feel like everybody got a taste of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I hate to bring it back to that, but it is a very significant cultural event in our lifetime.
Transformers movies.
Yeah, but they got it. So Michael Bay got a taste for. Oh man, all they're doing is going back and picking at straws and putting things together. So what I can do is be like, oh, that kid was in the junkyard, and we can't use Megan Fox or Shia LaBeouf anymore.
So just get a younger kid and then have them meet Mark Wahlberg instead of Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not Bumblebee for that movie. We've got Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Because Bumblebee had his own movie in between those two, didn't he?
Yeah. Where he got discovered again as a Volkswagen Beetle or something.
In the 80s, instead of showing up there in the 1800s, that's what also pissed me off when you said I would like that. I was like,
Yeah. It's just silly. I mean, like you said, dude, it's I wouldn't even say it's a yo-yo because it's not linearly straight up and down. It's literally all over the fucking place. It's like Cat's Cradle mixed with a yo-yo. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like especially like if you're like me and you watch it like a month straight in a row, like in order to,
Yeah.
like it messes with you, like, and you do reviews on it. Yeah, it's like no linear. That's why I got mad at it. I'm like, no, that did not happen.
It's like you're sitting there like the college professor, pinching the bridge of your nose under your glasses, like, so you're telling me just fucking Mark Wahlberg just shows up? He just shows up. He just happens to have a semi that happens to be Optimus Prime. It just happens. That's just how it happens. As in the happening, this is happening.
It's like none of the people that wrote the movie like watched the movie.
Yeah, or read the comic books or watched the anime cartoon that everything was based on. Yeah, there's no structure, there's no rhyme or reason. We can make up whatever the hell we want. We own the intellectual. We bought the IP, the intellectual property, which means it is whatever we say it is. It's like, oh, okay.
The only one I want to say who had an actual storyline in those movies would be that the soldiers, the background soldiers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Timothy Oliphant, and I cannot remember the black gentleman. He plays Tyrese. His name might actually be Tyrese Gibson, if I'm thinking of it right. He's the gentleman
from
Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the soldier stories are what was my favorite from that, and those are the only. That was the only thing that kept me sane through that, because I was confused when I saw the Mark Wahlberg one, because he was so much older in that one than the third one, because I think some time passed when they filmed.
Right.
Yeah, so like that's not the same guy, is it? And I looked it up. And I was like, it is.
Yeah, I was like almost positive that's his name. I just didn't want to say for sure because I couldn't remember. And I know Timothy Oliphant because I'm a huge fan of his, because he personified the Hitman, Agent 47. And that's when I started really following his career, because Hitman was one of my favorite video games of all time. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to follow him. And he was in the Transformer movies. Of course, I was a teenager in the early aughts, so of course I love the Transformer movies. Explosions and robots, who wouldn't?
Because we're coming up on that time, before we wrap it up, he's making a seventh one. You saw that, right?
What's this one going to be about?
It's going to be another reboot thing, because I did see an article about this. They didn't reveal much. They just said there's going to be a seventh one. I don't know if Mark Wahlberg's going to be part of it. I think it's going to be like an entirely new cast. But they did say there was going to be a reboot, like within the next 2 or 3 years.
You know what? Yeah, I just Googled it while I'm sitting here. Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback. Not Fishback. I'm sorry, not Markiplier's. Whoever, it's Fishback, as in yeah. Okay. Calling it Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, it's going to be like another reboot within the reboot. Expect a bad movie review when that comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just funny to me that they keep
coming out. How it started, right? Because I did do some research on myself before doing the reviews on. Hasbro pretty much went to Michael Bay and was like, "Can you do this for us so we can get some marketing for our toys?"
Oh yeah. Did you know that there's actually the He-Man show, the He-Man line of toys exists because people went to a toy company and sold the idea of He-Man, Prince Adam, and they're like, well, people don't know who the hell this guy is, and they're like, well, they'll watch the cartoon and then they're gonna want the toy.
Oh, but they never
and the toy company said, all right, we'll buy it, and then they're like, shit, we got to make a cartoon.
That's why I think. Yeah, that's why I think it's funny, because like Hasbro pretty much promoted this movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And don't kid yourself, dude. Those dudes got money to throw around. I mean, I know people feel like that people don't really buy toys anymore, but I got 3 kids, dude, and I got more toys than I do clothes or tools, and I'm a mechanic.
And I'm 25 and I collect toys, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You were just seeing me with the picture of my Infinity Gauntlet on my Insta.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I think I liked that one. Yeah, and you've got Lucille, you've got those couple. I think you got Michonne's sword too, don't you? Those aren't really toys.
Yeah, I got the one from the 5000 series where they limitedly sold the maker from the show made it himself.
Nice.
So they don't make them anymore, and I got it sold, and I got it signed by the governor.
That's very awesome.
So we're actually at that time now. So you have any last words you want to say?
Well, I mean, I know it kind of might have sounded like we were shitting on Michael Bay a little bit because he's very predictable, but honestly, the dude makes
like turn your
he
mind
makes
off.
solid
turn your mind off kind of
yeah.
That's what I say. Turn your mind off kind of movies.
Exactly. Yeah, his movies are designed to they are visually stimulating movies, and they deliver on what they promise every single time. The stories, he's trying, but you can only do so much with what's written, you know. And
like
at the same time,
kind of like M. Night Shyamalan right now.
exactly. But and it's like, you know, do you really want to worry about if Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox are gonna hook up, or do you want to see some giant 2-story tall robots beating the fuck out of each other with sledgehammers and swords? You're here for the beating, and I mean, if you get to see a curvy girl and a goofy guy get together, then that's neat too. But you're really here to watch robots fight, so you know, he knows what he's doing.
There isn't anything you want to promote on here, or no?
No, I don't have any. I don't do anything. I mean, unless you need bolts for engines, that's what I do for a living.
all right. So I guess with that, thanks for coming on here for the season 2 finale.
Thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
And with that, all right, this is One Time with the Sheriff, season 2, episode 10, the finale, the second part. I got my cousin Adam back on. Say hi.
Awesome. Hi, I'm going by Gak now.
Okay.
I just go by Gak. Or Vander to close friends.
Okay.
So, yeah, first question, because you're like, all right, throw some random questions at me because you're not a film guy. What constitutes a film guy to you? If I have to be, you know, what's the metrics that are required there?
Somebody who's like up to date with like all the like films, like whether it be Marvel or like the current films and like pop culture.
Well, you've watched, like, you know, do I have to watch all the Asylum movies to be up to date on film?
No, I choose to do that for my channel to watch the Asylum movies.
So yeah, that's my, like, you know, that's my I was reviewing and going, well, you know, yeah, I haven't watched the Asylum movie, all of the Asylum movies. I don't think I could ever be that up to date on the film world.
No, it's more like the newer movies, like say like Deadpool comes out.
What are there even movies anymore? Do we even have those anymore? If everything's on your TV, isn't everything a TV show now?
Well, the movies that go straight to the theaters, not every now and then they'll come straight to the streaming service too.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Suicide Squad, I almost went to go see that at a drive-in, but that's too far away from all of my snacks. Well, what I liked it. What did you think of Suicide Squad? There's another question for you.
I loved it compared to the first one. I like the idea of two dead shots going at it.
How many times can you reboot a movie before you can't reboot it anymore?
I think they can do it forever. Is like every couple of years they'll probably do it. Just look at Jurassic Park. They did that multiple times.
Jurassic Park is continued.
What's also kind of a reboot because it's not like the Dr. Grant or whatever is the main character. It's Chris Pratt now.
That's true. What I'm saying, you know, like Spider-Man gets straight up. They just like, right, we're gonna start this one on over.
Yeah.
But there is some kind of you know, there's a timeline of the Jurassic Park franchise that's going on.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
How are they going to fix Jurassic? Do you think that eventually they'll need to use time travel in order to
it.
take care of some type of writing problem. They're going to write themselves in a corner, and they're going to have to be like, nope.
Like in Avengers.
Yep, we're going to go 900. Well, I've been watching Discovery lately, so that's my current point of reference for time travel is Discovery, and that's
I mean, there was talk that Vin Diesel wants the Fast and Furious movies to cross over into the Jurassic Park series. So,
I would rather see Fast and the Furious crossover with Riddick. I think that it's an opportunity for Dom to find his family in space. I think that that's what Riddick is really looking for. Like,
they do want to do time travel. That's why I brought it up. Because they want to do time travel one, yeah. Okay, go on.
No, I'm just
But yeah, they do want to do a time travel Fast and Furious movie. Vin Diesel also pointed out.
So, how many DeLoreans do you think will be in that?
I think they'll just customize his whatever charger that he's using. I'm pretty sure there will be one person that drives a DeLorean.
There's got to be a DeLorean.
To make that
They
reference.
say that the original, what's it called?
Back to the Future.
Time Machine. No, the original Time Machine in Bill and Ted was supposed to be a van, but then they changed.
Oh yeah, they changed it to a phone booth.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm skeptical that there will be a phone booth reference, but maybe they'll have a CGI George Carlin.
That'd be interesting.
So, which of the Fast and the Furious movies is the best?
Well, I don't.
You're a movie guy, so you should know that, right?
I've only seen like 2 or 3 of them. I haven't seen all of them.
You are really missing out.
I've contemplated watching them to do a review on the channel, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Maybe do it like in a 24-hour live stream format from a race car bed.
Just go out, rent one, stream it from there.
Yeah. Do you lease a race car bed? You're like, no, man, I can't buy this race car bed. I just have a lease on it.
I just want to use it for this one stream, man. Can I?
I can only sleep in it a certain number of hours a month, or then I have to pay over.
I'm sure something out there like that exists.
So I've got some other questions here. I've got my other questions for you.
Go on.
So you're coming up on the end of season 2. You're finaleing. What are your thoughts in retrospect here? What are your hindsight evaluations? What are your action items that you're going to take into season 3 that are going to make you a big star?
Well, keeping my format, the 20-minute format, really helped this instead of like going all random like the first season I did with how long the podcast went. That was also just testing it out. This season they dropped it down to like the 20-minute mark, and that really helped. I'm gonna keep going on with that.
Awesome. Your elocution also way up too. I was doing some reviewing. Obviously, that's how I know that you've been watching too much Asylum movies, and your quality continues to ramp. But that's the thing, continuing to produce things and setting goals and reaching them, man.
Yep.
Real proud of you.
Yep. Thanks. And also just talking about movies still. There's a lot of movies, and I can keep doing that.
There are a lot of movies. We talked about Suicides. Let's see. I didn't see the other things that they have at the drive-in. They were showing a Jurassic Park movie, but we didn't get out to that one either. And they got Resonance?
Doesn't ring a bell.
It's got Wolverine in it.
Oh, the Hugh Jackman's actor.
Yeah.
It does not ring a bell.
It's brand new.
Okay, that's probably why. Yeah.
See, I'm not. I know up to date things. What things are there? Nah. But anyway.
Yeah. I guess just keep doing what I'm doing for the next season. That's pretty much the answer to your question.
What are you hoping to see from movies? What do you want movies to do to be better?
That's I guess do whatever Marvel's doing right now, because Marvel is really branching off into their own thing since like they killed off a bunch of their characters in Endgame. I guess do whatever they're taking a lot of creative liberties now in their new phase.
What'd you think of Loki?
Well, I loved Loki. The whole time travel thing, I loved that. And Tom Hiddleston's one of my favorite actors too.
I really like his shirt in that. He has a very nice shirt.
With the TVA symbol on it.
No, just one of them. A button-up shirt with it's got nice shoulders to it, and it's got the nice little come down with the, I don't know if it's a pleat or what, but it looks dynamite. I love the clothes in that, and
he had the '90s tie, the skinny tie.
Oh yeah, I mean like. So ska music is coming back. What impact do you think the new renaissance in ska music is going to have on movies over the next 3 years?
We're gonna hear a bunch more of it, obviously.
Obviously.
And then there's gonna obviously be like in some movie. I'm trying to think, probably Fast and Furious. There's just gonna be a dancing, whatever, at a bar and just ska music just blaring.
It's gonna be like basketball all over again.
Yeah.
Okay, so Trey Parker and Matt Stone are buying Casa Bonita, right?
Okay.
That's just, you just go with me on this. That's true. So what other like creators out there would you like to see acquiring a restaurant?
Ooh, I wouldn't mind seeing Dan Harmon or trying to think.
No, Dan Harmon's great. Go with it. What restaurant would what kind of restaurant like there's a restaurant that's down on its luck. Dan Harmon is gonna swoop in and he's gonna buy it and he's gonna get it back on track. What restaurant is it?
It'd probably be like a pizza place, a burger place, and he does whatever he wants with it. Like he's also an alcoholic, so he mix drinks whatever he wants with in there.
I'm hearing that sounds like a Chuck E. Cheese to me, or
for
a Virgin
adults.
Mad Mix. Something that's got the alcohol already installed there. All right, that's fair.
But like, okay. He would also film himself doing it though, because he's a TV person, so he would like film himself going in like Gordon Ramsay style.
So that brings up another interesting question that I have for you, pop culture guru.
Go on.
They've got a kitchen show now where people have to deduce what was made in the kitchen by observing a crime scene kitchen, right? They have to observe that. There we go. It's your Dan Harmon 6 season in a movie Joel McHale reference. So there's some tangential reason why we're talking about this, right?
Okay.
So they're doing that. What is the next step in kitchen competition? If people are already competing to make food and now they also have to compete to figure out what food it is to make, and then they have to compete, what is the next thing that we're going to be adding in that's going to make that more complex?
Like they do in Japan, like competition style stuff, like game shows. Throw game shows into there.
They're gonna so like it's gonna be like stuff is gonna be rotating. You have to it's Ninja Warrior Kitchen, and it's all right.
I could awesome. See going that way, like them throwing in like random game questions that they have to answer while they're cooking, and yeah.
Oh man, you get to, like, I mean, Cutthroat Kitchen. You can throw some. And that's a classic at this point. So yeah, yeah. All right, all right.
I think that would make Hell's Kitchen a lot more interesting too.
Ah,
If Gordon Ramsay
So-
just had to throw random questions at his people that he's training.
it should be a bit more panel show in it. I like that. Awesome. Need more panel shows. Why aren't there more panel shows? Why aren't panel shows more popular here? That's not a good question for you. No, I can think of a better question for you. I can think of a better question for you.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'll answer that one. I don't know why they're not as popular here while you're thinking of another one. I don't know why it's not as popular.
It seems like it's a low cost thing. Do we just not like people? I mean, we have funny people.
Yeah.
There are funny people here. We
Yeah.
we get a fair number of them from Canada, but there are funny people here.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I just don't know why.
Okay, here's another movie question for you. We're sticking with mainstream things that I've seen. Space Jam.
Oh, I have not seen either of those.
We haven't seen either of the Space Jams?
No.
Oh wow.
But it's on my watch list of stuff to watch.
I was gonna say, what are your thoughts on sports movies? Like, how can we improve sports movies?
I can still answer that. I find them interesting. Changing sports movies. Like I know Disney makes a lot of them. Like when I just scroll through it, there's a lot of like there's like a theme for there's a person going through trouble, they have family trouble and whatnot, and then they get good, they get bad, they get good again. There's like a theme in sports movies,
Yeah, they have a pretty consistent consistency. They're like baklava, but with a balklava. But sometimes they can be too sweet. So sports movies though, like what can we do to shake that up?
Do you like you said Space Jam, like maybe throw in like not movie people every now and then, or go to another world, like travel, or like space, throwing space stuff. If you want to do space and sports,
affix space to everything until we get a good something cool comes out. I like it.
Yep.
We're keeping our eyes on the stars, and I think that's important.
Yep.
Let's see. What else have I watched recently? Oh, the fact that what's the Netflix documentary about how aliens are real and we're not doing anything about it.
Oh yes, I saw that on. Yes, I saw that on Netflix. Yes.
How disappointed do you think aliens are in the Fast and the Furious franchise?
Did they ever show aliens in the Fast franchise?
I'm scared to say. I don't think so. I don't think so, but they might have slipped some past me at some point in there, They're just so much, the movies are just so much fun that they could have had aliens, just the whole time. I mean, what's his name had a super suit. We're
talking about Idris Elba's actor.
Idris Elba had a freaking super suit.
Yeah, and
I don't think he was a space alien though.
Yeah, and that Dom movie, the entire movie with Dom and The Rock. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've got all this proof that aliens exist,
and we're just ignoring. Yeah, we got it at the beginning of the year too, and everyone's just ignoring it.
Everyone's just ignoring it, and we don't even think about whether or not we're making good enough movies for that.
Yeah, I think we should make more effort to reach out, but I know the government's not going to let us.
Oh, I know. I think that shouldn't stop us from making some nice movies for them. Just a little bit more focused on,
Yeah.
Everything is smooth. All surfaces are smooth, and that's the movie. I don't know where we're gonna go with it, but that's what we're going. Everything is smooth. The movie. It's about flying. It's about flying Tic Tacs from the sea. It's sponsored by Tic Tacs. Do you think that they're sponsored?
I don't think you said how disappointing would the aliens be if we met them. I don't think they'd be disappointing. Because they're the ones visiting us. We're not visiting them.
You don't think they've just come to watch us watch Asylum movies and just shake their heads?
I mean, some of them probably.
Yeah. Somewhere there's an empathetic alien cringing on our behalf.
Making this their TV show, like, look at this fool watching Asylum movies for a living.
What makes Asylum movies good for you?
Oh, it's not that they're good; it's that they're like so bad that it's like worth like watching.
How? It feels morbid to me.
There's just something about it, like the Sharknado movies. Like they all have good actors in them. They're just like it's like somehow badly directed the way it came across those 6 movies, and it's like there's a bunch of them in an Asylum that's like that.
Just hold on, I like that. You're like you are a good man. You are a good man to go. Yeah, they got some good actors. Just things didn't come together for 6 movies. You know, it's just went to make this movie 6 times, and every time they just couldn't quite get it.
Because they stuck with the same cast for all 6, and like the actors are actually good in other movies. It's just that the story and the directing somehow along the way just did not stick. Yeah.
Which is amazing with a concept like Sharknado. You'd think there's so much there, you know.
Yeah. We're coming up across our time. Do you have a few more questions you want to throw at me?
What else have you been making? What else have you been making that you're excited about?
I haven't. Nothing really other than my bad movies. I got but what I'm doing here, not been really focusing on anything else really.
No arts and crafts projects in your life or anything?
Turning my TV room into like a man cave.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How is the man cave going to improve your ability to produce content in season 3?
I'm making it like a whole movie themed thing because I collect movie replicas, so I'm putting my stuff from my room into that room. So when I watch movies, I'll have the stuff to look at while watching the movies.
Fantastic. It's Ray Bradbury's birthday today.
Oh.
Ray Bradbury had a lot of stuff on his desk.
Okay.
I think it's important to have a lot of stuff on your desk, and I think it's important to make things. The things we make us.
I agree with that.
It's pithy. I like it.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything more to say,
this has been an absolute delight.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to like promote or anything, or?
Oh. I mean, if anyone listening is from the New England area and wants to join a really cool makerspace, the Mint in Rutland is great. But yeah, right now, not particularly anything that I want to be promoting. Just be nice to each other, I guess, right?
Yeah. All right. So this has been the season 2 finale of Fun Times with the Sheriff. Thanks for coming on again, Adam.
Absolutely. Call me Vander. Take it easy, Sheriff.
Right. I just want to shout out an amazing channel, James the Sheriff Dixon. Oh, he's such a great guy, and he is super cool for coming to the show. I'm glad I got to meet him in person, and you should subscribe.